Hi, this is Munson from Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could play a song called Na 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 by Big Time Rush. And we're going to start off on a C major chord. And when you play C major, first finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger goes to the D string on the second fret, third finger goes to the A string on the third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now on C chords in general, it can be kind of cool to lift off the first finger and make that a C major 7. Or you could take the pinky and add it in on the B string third fret, make it a C major 9. Or if you're digging on more of kind of a rock approach to this, you can do a C5 power chord where you do the first finger on the A string third fret, third finger on the D string on the 5th fret, and kind of strum just the A and the D strings together. There's a couple different ways you might want to kind of play around with that C major chord. And then from the C, on our verse chorus, we go to a D major chord. Let me play D major. First finger goes to the G on the 2nd fret, second finger on the high E on the 2nd fret, third finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now on Ds in general, it can be kind of cool to lift off the second finger and kind of make that a D suspended second. Or you could add in the pinky on the high E string third and make it a D sus chord. So it can be kind of cool to kind of move around and see what you can say with the D chord. And then from the D we go to an F. Or if you're digging on the power chord, you could do a power chord by doing just the open D and the open and the G string, actually, just the D and the G together. Or you could take that C5 shape we were doing and move it over to 5th fret. So first finger on the A string 5th fret, third finger on the D string 7th fret. And if you strum the A and the D string together, it sounds a D5 power chord. So that might be kind of cool if you want to make it a little bit more heavy, kind of working the C5 to a D5. And then from there, then we'd be going to an F major. And the way you play F major, normally you do this as a first finger bar, and we'll talk about an easier way to play this too. But then you put your second finger on the G string 2nd fret, third finger on the A string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the D string 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now a good substitute for that, if you're just starting out, is something called F major 7, where you could do the first finger on the B string 1st fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, third finger on the D string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7 chord, and it sounds really, really groovy. Or if you're digging on the power chord idea, you can make it an F5 power chord and go low E on the 1st fret, third finger on the A string on the 3rd fret, and kind of strum just the E and the A string and make that an F5 power chord. And then from the F, we go back to our C chord. So you could kind of work it even as just a power chord thing, kind of that C, D5, F5, C5. I'm kind of doing 2 downs and then just kind of making up some muting there. So if you kind of dig on that idea, I just thought that would be kind of a cool way to kind of approach it. If you wanted to make it really heavy, if you're digging on kind of some electric grooves. Or you could take the chords and do that idea, kind of that D major, C major. Or you could even work just downs if you want to make it really sneaky. You can kind of work an 8 down idea on each chord. And I'm kind of adding in some muting on that. So I'm kind of taking the flat of my right hand and laying it down on top of the saddle to get kind of a muted quality. So you may want to kind of play around with that idea too. Or a lot of times, especially to support my voice, I like using something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So if you took the C and just tried that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. So if you tried that through the chord progression, you'd have C, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, F, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, F, down, up, C, down, up, down, up. Now something else I like to add to a song like this too is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down, up, down, down, up, down, up, you can throw in a bass for the chord. So on the C, you'd have the A string for your bass. On the D, you'd have the D for the bass. And on the F bar, you'd have the low E for the bass. On the F major 7, you'd have the D for the bass. And then you've added the C with the A bass. So you might dig on that too. Bass, down, up, down, D with the D bass, down, up, down, F with low E bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, funking things up. And so I would gravitate towards something called the 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into two parts with down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide it into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. And what I mean by that is if you take the C and do it down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing a down on 1, down on 3, and up on 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 up. And then on the third beat, you're doing an up on 2, down on 3. So then you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you're going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So all together, you got down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So we tried that through our chord progression. We have C, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, F, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, C, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, C, down, down, up, down, 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 up, D, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, F, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, C. Or if you're digging on the basses, you can make it a bass down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down, and it can all be really cool. Or if you're digging on kind of adding in that muting idea, that can be a cool thing to kind of add in with your strumming too. So you might want to kind of play around with that too. Or adding in and subtracting notes to the chords might be kind of a cool idea too. And you may have to kind of work on this a good bit to kind of get it up to tempo, but this can actually be a really groovy way to kind of approach the tune. And there are some acapella parts, and there might even be parts where you want to work it into hit, or kind of take all these ideas out and kind of play around with them a little bit and kind of see what you want to say with the songs. Voicings for those chords, that can be cool too. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Na 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 by Big Time Rush. So good luck!